So a cherry bakewell, right? Basically, this little slice of heaven. What it is like it's like a pastry, and then inside there's like a layer of marzipan, a layer that you like the stuff you'll find around like a Battenberg cake, a layer of jam, and then a layer of like sort of like iced frosting on the top, and then half a cherry.
Ooh.
Right? And they sell them in like packets of 6 at the supermarket, and I will very happily go through 6 in a sitting. Do you know what I mean? In like 10 minutes, right? It's 2 bites. First bite, you always include the cherry, and the second bite, you just take everything else, right? Bang. 15 seconds, on to the next. I love cherry bakewells. And so a good friend of mine, bless her, she's an incredible baker. And so I was like, hey, could you make me a cherry bakewell cake for my birthday? And she was like, let's do it. I've never had to do that before. Challenge accepted. And it was like, it's incredible. It's incredible. I've got a bit with me now, and this is like the final piece. So I was like, I could slice this in half and maybe leave some for the family. And I was like, actually, no. I'm gonna have the rest of this. And it's like, it may even be like I don't know, maybe like a 5th or a 6th of the cake. It wasn't like the world's biggest cake, but it is delicious. So shout out to my friend for making the cake.
Nice. So you just got like a homemade version of your favorite snack, essentially?
Yeah, like a cakeified version of one of my favorite snacks. Crazy. Definitely needs to be done, right? Like some sort of TV thing, and you would call it like, I don't know, like Cakeify My Life or something. I don't know. Maybe like stealing something off Pimp My Ride. But anyways, look, we'll figure out the title. But if anyone else is going to do it, I want to trademark it now. My idea. Too late. Sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
Welcome back to the SpewnedIt Podcast.
Well, actually, that leads quite well into an idea I had for today, which I don't know if you noticed the balloons behind me here, but in real time when we're recording this, it was Joel's birthday yesterday. So he is a big boy now, quarter of a century, right?
Man, I've been thinking about that, but yeah, quarter of a century,
quarter of the way there.
Pretty
cool.
You're
getting close, right?
Yeah,
and
getting close.
And I thought that we could do a little birthday segment for Joel that could be just kind of out of a fun time to look on. So I prepared a few questions.
Okay.
And so I'm just gonna roll through them, and they're mostly just related about your past year as a former 24-year-old. So
wow.
I'll just
okay.
Joel's got he's never seen these before. They're not that deep, but it's fine.
I have literally no idea. I'm kind of panicking.
All right.
now.
No, you're good. You're good. Putting you on the spot here. So your first question is, what is your favorite birthday that you have had that you can remember? Something cool that happened. How did you celebrate? Something really memorable.
Yeah.
And what age was it?
Okay. So I think a big birthday for me was my first birthday after coming back from New Zealand. So I turned 18 just before leaving New Zealand, turned 19 in New Zealand, and turned 20 in New Zealand before coming back to the UK relatively late on in the year. And this is in 2019. So then, of course, turn of the decade, right, into 2020, and that was when lockdown hit pretty early on in the year. So I was in the country. My family was still in Uganda at the time, and I was it was a year full of new stuff. I was staying with a friend and his parents at their massive house. This guy Barney, love Barney to pieces. He is a family friend. Who actually I may have told him about you or told you about him before. Rather,
we talked
he's the
about
guy
him.
who went going around the UK, right? Yeah, this guy. So so I was staying with him and then another good friend of ours, of Jamie.
Uh-huh.
So we're kind of we were taking like each day as it comes, because it was really nice to have each other, be in each other's corner, because I think emotionally there was a lot that everyone around the world was going through, and I was incredibly blessed to be able to have those guys by my side. And so my 21st birthday rolls around, and I'm like, man, what are we going to be able to do? And I just remember Barney, who is like a certified pro when it comes to organizing things. Actually, all the people in their family are an amazing family. And he says, he's like, Joel, I've got a few plans. Okay, so like just kind of take the day as it comes. Don't worry about it too much. And there was a few things throughout the day. I remember like it started off, and Barney had gotten me 21 different like tiny little gifts. That some of them were just like painfully annoying. Like one of them was one of these, those chickens that you squeeze and then they make a noise. This was like a pig alternative. So that was funny. We were like throwing that at each other all day, just like making loads of noise. But one of them was this mug that on it says, happiness is not a destination, it's a way of life. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I've still got that downstairs. Nice. I think that's probably the only item of that I've got from that day. But then basically the day, like it was a lovely sunny day. I had like people come around to the house because obviously we only had to we had to social distance.
Yeah.
So people would come to the house. We had a nice little outdoor setup, and then we just kind of be able to have a chat. Later on, we played like social distance football, which turned into relatively normal football.
Yeah,
but we tried it at the start, so that was fun.
So you just can't play defense or what?
Basically, because like if someone's running towards you, you've got to keep running back. So then they just take you all the way. So then it was a funny thought, which didn't turn out too well. But anyways, look, it was fun. It was good. And so then we did that, and then we had a few screens set up outside, and we were just like playing Halo and having a few whiskeys like late into the night. And it was great. So that was my 21st, and given that we were in lockdown, like that was a very, very cool birthday. Considering that, like, it was bizarre. It was very, very bizarre.
Yeah.
But I do remember that. Yeah, that was a good day. That was a really, really good day. So yeah, that's probably the one that comes to mind first.
Yeah,
I would say.
No, I think I remember even talking about that a bit, like beforehand. I think we recorded an episode not too long before that birthday because I remember you mentioning like having something to do with the garden and people coming through. So that's funny to get back on where we started. All right, next question. What is the most exciting birthday present that you've ever received?
That's good. I think
most exciting.
Yes, I think I'd probably have to go back to turning 10 years old. And I remember, I mean, this was a great birthday in New Hope, Uganda.
Oh, yeah.
What a time. And my mum made me amazing cake because my mum's also a fantastic baker. And I remember like this, which was monumental, was I got a DS.
Oh, yeah.
At the age of 10.
That's what I thought it would
was
be.
What I'd been waiting for. It had Mario Kart on there.
Classic.
I'm trying to remember if there were any other games that I had straight off the bat, but there's definitely Mario Kart. And
Need for Speed Undercover was quite quick, wasn't it? Was that off the bat, or was it slightly later? I just remember that was one of the first that we played.
Yeah, that was very, very early on.
Because I think Lego Star Wars came slightly later, and then there was like maybe Christmas or something was Indiana Jones or something like that.
Oh yeah, well I tell you what, your memory is pretty impressive on this because
it was a big time for my life. Dude.
Series of, it was huge. It was huge for the both of us. It was massive. What a time! Wow. So yeah, that was just huge. Like looking back, that was a major gift because I think that got me properly hooked into gaming. Before that, I dipped my toe in, but this was something that was it was just elite. It was elite, and I didn't really need my own computer to play it because we had a family computer, so that was fine. And before that, I had a Game Boy, which was good. But this was definitely a step up, So, yeah, game changer. Absolute game changer. That would be the one for me.
Yeah. We kind of already covered this one, but dessert of choice. So is it this?
Well,
or it's not quite.
Is that I'd see a cherry bakewell as something you could have any time of day. So technically, yes, it does fit into the dessert category. But I often get trapped into, whenever I'm going out for like a meal, which doesn't happen often, but when I do, I'm like, look, if there is a sticky toffee pudding, a cheesecake, or what's the third thing, or a banoffee pie on the menu, I'm in a bad place because even if I'm full, I almost need to order one of those three. And I think actually the best dessert I've ever had was this Biscoff and banoffee cheesecake. Don't ask me how they did it, but this was incredible. So nice. I think I wouldn't be able to give you one. I wouldn't be able to give you one answer. Okay. But that kind of that three of a selection would be that like exactly cheesecake, banoffee pie, sticky toffee pudding. Those three. Oh man, I'm in a good place. I'm in a really, really good place.
Are you like a dessert bite sharer, or is it like I've ordered this, you get your own type of deal? No.
Yeah, I'm definitely like, this is my dessert.
You
I've
want
ordered
one,
this.
get one yourself.
And 100%. It's like, if you want mine, well, like, thank you. I know I made the right decision. You clearly made the wrong decision, and you're going to need to sit with that for a bit. And if I do that and I get if I get rubbish pudding, then that's on me. That's my bad. I just won't do it again. So yeah, and I've found that with a few of those, sometimes with a cheesecake, sometimes some restaurants try to overdo it. But from what I've found, 9 times out of 10 with a sticky toffee pudding, they're very hard to mess up, because all you need is just quite a bit of sauce. That, you know, like the actual cake bit of it is dense enough that it's quite rich and tasty. It's hard to mess up a sticky toffee pudding, and I don't think I've come across one yet. So that's always a safe bet to go for. But yeah, definitely not a sharer.
Good to know. Good to know. Big party or small party when celebrating?
Yeah. See, I think. So when you say like big or small, like what numbers would you say?
I'm saying small is I'll cap it at like family and your 2 closest friends. So like an 8-ish or smaller, and big is like 10, 15 plus.
Okay, yeah. So I think actually on that I'd probably have to go big. So for this weekend just gone. On the Friday, I had like a little barbecue with my cousins over, with my granddad. Nice. That was nice. That was really, really cool. And then on the Saturday, I had a few friends come over from like basically all over the country, really, which was really, really nice. Sweet. And then we had a get together in the evening that was probably like 20, 25 people. And that was just an amazing time. Like, I didn't even get the chance to chat with everyone, really. But it was just nice knowing that, okay, there's a lot of good people around me here. And that was really, really nice. So if those are the numbers we're talking about, I'd probably have to go big then. Yeah, but I wouldn't want any more than 30, because then I feel like, oh man, you know, like the chaos could ensue here. Whereas if it's like 20 to 25, I'm like, yeah. I was like, that's what I like to call a gathering. It's not a party necessarily. It's a gathering.
We have different standards what determines a party. We had a birthday party. That's what those balloons were for Lou the other day.
Yes.
And we had we invited a couple other people who couldn't make it for various reasons, but we had myself, B, Lou, Toby. Jenna was out of town, but he brought Prim, so that she had somebody to play with. And then B and I's good friends, Geraldine and Mikkel, who we had just recently gotten married, and so we were at their wedding, and they came over. It was hilarious. They brought her a little stuffed rabbit, and I kid you not, held it in her mouth for probably 2.5 hours straight, just running around with it, squeaking it.
I love that. That's so cool.
It got so soaked from her saliva just from holding it. Was she loved it. It was great. It was a very fun time.
What a thought.
All right, we've got some more questions here. What?
Okay.
Is a little deeper. What have you learned since your last birthday? What is a lesson from this past year for you?
Oh man,
could be as simple or complex as you like.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's really good. I think I think there's a few things which I feel like, and I hope this answers the question, I'm kind of in the process of learning that have started over this last year. I do feel like actually it's been a busy year in terms of like heart and mind lessons that God has been really teaching me. I think one of the main ones is just identity. And actually knowing that my identity is not in kind of like what I do or what I have done or what I might achieve in the future, or if and when I mess up. Like it's in God and who God says I am. And I'm like, so knowing that and then being able to be like, oh, okay, cool. I don't need to have this pressure on myself all the time. I can actually just kind of kick back a little bit and allow myself to, to go day by day and make mistakes, but then also just to be able to kind of chill out and know, okay, it's fine. It's okay to be human. And I don't need to be this kind of like golden boy who, because I like doing good things, but if like my identity's in that, well, that's where it's an issue, because I am going to mess up. I'm not going to be able to be like brilliant all the time. And so just knowing that and really understanding that and understanding that God knows that as well. I think that's one of the major ones as well. And just encouraging me to really rely on God in the middle of everything, whether or not that's relationships or anything like mental battles that I'm going through, and actually just giving it all to Him and just saying, okay, you know what, this is an opportunity for me to just kind of step back, to slow my breathing, and just to allow myself to rest. because I quite like being busy, but it's not always the best thing I've found for me, because then I don't really give myself the mental headspace to just think. I just stay busy and I stay getting stuff done.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think like it's been like a heavy in terms of sort of like prompting maturity. It's been a heavy year in that aspect, I think, which is exciting. But like, man, I'm really looking forward to kind of seeing the end of it, or seeing the development of that maturity kind of gear shift. And so yeah, I'd say I still feel in the middle of that now. That's a great question though. So yeah, I don't know. I'll keep you updated when we're a little bit further on that journey.
Yeah. No, that was beautiful.
But it's exciting stuff.
Nice.
It's exciting stuff. Thanks, man.
Nice. Yeah. On a similar note, what do you hope to accomplish by your next birthday?
Oof, nice. I think the main thing for me is that I would love to be able to move house. So there's a plan at the moment that I will be by this time next year. Hopefully, I would have moved in. And so that's the dream. That's kind of like this little mental note I've given myself, if you want to say that.
Yeah.
Just to kind of look forward to. I think it's a decent time in my life. I've been able to save quite a bit of money. Being at home is great, but I'm like, the sooner I can get this started, the sooner I can start paying off a house, and then just investing in the right things, really. So yeah, I think that would be what one thing I'd love to have achieved. By 26, that would be really, really good. I feel comfortable in a lot of areas of my life, and I think that's one area where I'm like, okay, I feel like there could be a bit of growth here. So yeah, moving house would be sick, and obviously that would come with a new studio. There'd be like a completely different layout, which would be cool. And so obviously, in my house, like I'll deck that out. Actually, I got given something the other day that I'm gonna need to show you. Can I go get it, and then I'll be right back?
Go for it.
Okay. So I got given this by some friends of mine, and then on the Saturday when everyone was here, we just kind of had this hung up in the background, and it's this little light that says "on air."
Nice.
How cool is that? So shout out to Freedom and Mary for getting me this.
That's so cool.
Is that the right way around, by the way? Because for me, that's reverse. Okay.
No,
cool.
I don't know why it. Yeah, I don't know how it flips it at some on your end, my end. But no, you got it right. No,
there we go.
Backwards.
So then that works for me, but obviously that won't work for you. So yeah, on it, so cool. So I've been thinking awesome. Where can I put this in this house? But anyways, in my house, oh my days, that's going front and center. And then whenever we're having a SpewnedIt chat, I'll definitely get that involved. So yeah, that's gonna be cool.
That's sick.
What were we talking about? Sorry, the moving house.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I'd like. I don't know. Like I'm not too precious about it, to be completely honest. Like it's not like if I don't move out before 26, I'm gonna be like devastated. But it is something that I'm building a lot of excitement for, and I'm like, that'd be cool. I feel like it's doable. Do you know what I mean? It's an achievable goal.
Cool.
So yeah,
that's awesome.
That's what I'd like to do.
All right, what is your first birthday memory? If you're thinking back, little baby Joel.
Oh man,
do you have an early present or party or cake?
I remember at one point, I think this must have been when I was quite young, and I think I really liked Subutio. Do you remember that? You'd lay out like a carpet on the table, and you'd have these tiny little minifigures that you'd flick around.
Totally.
And I think what my mum did was she made like a Subutio cake.
Cool.
And I must have been, I think we were in Uganda at the time, so like maybe I was like 7 or 8, and yeah, like I think that I might have to ask her about that actually. But I remember like my mum was always so elaborate and intricate with these cakes. Like she was just incredible. And so I believe I remember her doing that. And if not, then she's just planted that memory in my head, and I love her for it. So I don't know how she's done that.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. So
we need to go deeper.
So yeah, so that
put the cake in the little mind palace.
Yeah. And so I don't know. That's something I can feel. I feel like I can remember. Before maybe like I don't know, but like around that time, I don't know. Like I can't remember anything super clearly in terms of birthdays. They all kind of blur into one. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. No, understandable. If you could, on an unlimited budget, set up your dream birthday party? Could be whatever you want.
Whoa.
What would be like the dream experience that you would want to have with a group of people celebrating your birthday?
Yeah, cool. That's a great idea. I'd love to be able to... oh, man, my mind's racing now. I'd love to be able to go on like a massive road trip.
Ooh, okay.
With my boys.
Yep.
And kind of have like 10 super/hyper cars that we've like rented out. All of us are insured on all of them, and so we drive around.
Yeah.
Where would I?
Autobahn, unlimited miles per hour.
Oh, actually, yeah, it's like around Germany, and because Germany's beautiful as well. But then like on the autobahn as well, and so then like we'll stay off at different places, and we would then like switch cars like the day after.
Okay,
and then just kind of be
able
to get to do the whole rotation of like all these crazy cars.
I like it.
Yeah, that would be cool. I think another thing that I'd really love to do is just to be able to have like a lot of people in the same place. So like I'd love to be able to like fly you over to the UK. I'd love to be able to fly a good mate of mine, Kendall, from like I'd love to be able to fly him from New Zealand and just say, mate, don't worry about it. I've got the flights, I've got everything. You just book the time off and get him over. I'd really like to be able to do that. Just kind of gather people who are around and even to be fair, people in the UK or people who are close, be like, look, I'll pay for you to get a train down or a taxi or whatever. If it's an unlimited budget, I'll be like,
first class, baby.
I'll sort it. Don't worry. I think that would be, I don't know, there are two kind of ideas side by side, but like, if I was going to have like just a gathering or a proper day or a long weekend, that would be so much fun. I'd love to be able to do that. Just gather people. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really, really cool.
Very wholesome. Very wholesome. All right, I've got one more question, then I've got a quick set of rapid fire favorite questions for you. But last full question is, what is your birthday meal of choice? My family, we do like you get to pick your meal and your dessert, and then obviously what you want to do. So I often go with like a rack of ribs or some kind of meat of some sort.
Yeah.
But what's your meal if you were to choose?
Yeah, good choice. I think. Oh, good question, Rob. I think recently I've really started to enjoy like slow cooked meals, and when I'm doing like a slow cooked. To be fair, my mum is a killer at these as well. Like a slow cooked curry. I think I'd love like slow cooked curry. Got like some maybe some poppadoms and a beer beforehand. And then sit down and have like proper slow cooked curry with rice and like loads of naans as well, and a glass of red as well with the curry.
There you go.
That would be elite, and then followed by maybe like a banoffee pie or like a cheesecake type thing, or maybe a sticky toffee pudding. Either of the three.
There you go.
But I've really started to enjoy my slow cooked curries recently.
Okay,
so that would be my go-to. Yeah, big time.
Very nice,
big time.
All right, as we move into the rapid fire phase, I'm going to use one of Lou's birthday hats here. Get into the spirit of things.
Nice.
All right, favorites of this year. Age 24, Joel. Favorite song.
Oh man! Oh, flip. That's a quick fire one. Okay. There's this one that is cool. It's by J Manuel. It's called Old Ways, and it's a serious banger. Okay.
Yep. Movie.
Poor.
Could we win you soft the first time this year, or you just really enjoyed? Doesn't have to be like all-time favorite.
I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, we talked about that.
It did blow my mind. I was confused by it, and I think maybe I should see it again. But yeah, like it was, crazy. What a masterpiece, to be honest. What a film.
Yeah, we've kind of covered this one a little bit. Snack, is it what we talked about before? The cherry.
Yeah. I'd have to go with the cherry Bakewell.
Bakewell. I want to say Gainwell for some reason. Terry Bakewell.
Gainwell. Okay. Look, it could be like its long lost cousin.
What
Who knows?
That even is. Okay. Beverage.
Oh man. I think my go-to is probably, it's a lovely lager. It's a Moretti, a Birra Moretti. They are just, they're incredible. They're incredible.
Nice.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Restaurant.
Ooh, good question. So a couple times, because of work, I've gone to this place that is called the Block House, just around the corner from work. It's good for like work dues. And they've got these like chicken fajitas type thing, which are the bomb. They're so good.
Always
and
good.
part of it,
Always
they
good.
come out on a hot, sizzling plate.
Yeah.
So, you know, they come out and they're like, psh, so everyone knows, okay, Joel's won this time around. He's got on the right thing because look at the performance.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll go with that.
Nice. Favorite show? You watched any shows this year?
Favorite show? Oh, yes, I've been watching The Bear recently.
I was just
with my brother Dan,
asking
with my
B
stepbrother
what that
Dan.
was
The
last
Bear
night. It's a cooking
is
show, or
crazy? Yeah, basically. So it's like it's this show that follows this guy. He's a chef. His older brother's been a chef, and his whole family of chefs is this Italian guy in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And it's basically about him like trying to pump the last living bit of life into this restaurant that his older brother left him. And it is so tense. The way they do the kitchen scenes, oh my gosh, it's like you're really there. Like it's, so good. Would highly recommend.
Okay.
Next season's coming out soon, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, The Bear. Please pay me for that little plug there.
Yeah. Book.
Okay, so I'm reading this one at the moment that is really good. It's called Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus.
We talked about this one
and it's
some time ago.
Yeah, I think we did. It's crazy. It's blowing my mind because it makes me feel very seen and very heard, but it also calls me out, and it's like opening my mind in ridiculous ways because I'm like, oh my gosh, I do that, and that is maybe not the best thing to do, or I could do more of that, and I've only done it a little bit. So yeah, incredible book, and even for someone that like doesn't read a lot because I don't really have the time, this is something like my mind is always telling me, Joel, you got to read more of this because it's so good. So yeah, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, top tier.
Okay, what about a game?
We need to play this, by the way. I came across a game super recently that is called Make Way.
I have played it. It's excellent.
Oh,
I would love to play that with you.
My God,
that'd be so fun.
What a game! It's crazy. It's so good. My friend was telling me like, "Oh, Joel, you're gonna love this," and I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever, man."
Ultimate Chicken
and
Horse
blew
meets
my mind.
Mario Kart.
I love it. Yes, yeah. Ultimate Chicken Horse is obviously top tier, but yeah, that's blown me out the water. I've been so impressed by that, by the simplicity, but also I think like the one element of it is like you cannot play that game quietly. It's physically impossible to not be like screaming and shouting. Like it's the dynamics of it are so good. So yeah, Make Way, absolute legendary game.
I love that you've found that game. What about musical artist?
I think so. Like, I mean, I mentioned kind of the song before. This guy this duo rather, J Manuel. They're amazing. But there's this one guy who is called Sunday. So it's said like the name, but it's spelled Sondae. He's a young English artist, and he is literally like, in my opinion, he's the future of like cool Christian music that is just like it's like worship, but it's not classic worship, and yet it's so blatant with his lyrics. He hasn't really missed, to be honest. I'm trying to think of a song that I haven't liked from his, or of his rather, and so yeah, he is he's just incredible, and I really like his vibe and what he's going for. So I cannot wait to hear more from him. But yeah, he's amazing.
Nice. Sunday. What about a mobile game? You a mobile gamer at all this year?
Yeah, no, I have stepped back from that a lot. So I think I'd probably have to go with the classic, like go with Boom Beach, because for my boys, for the team.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I haven't played Boom Beach in a while, so I might have to step back into that. Yeah.
And last one to finish this out here. What is a favorite verse from this past year for you, if you had to pick one?
Ooh, as in like a Bible verse?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Or just a sick bar that somebody spat on a track. Sick verse.
Yeah. To be fair, like one that's kind of a little bit of both is this. It's this verse in Proverbs that I can't remember exactly what it is. I wonder if I could find it. But it basically says, like, as humans, we may roll the dice, but God determines how they fall.
Yeah,
and I read that, and I was like, damn. I was like, that is incredible. I've got a few little notes. Oh no, to be fair, one that I really, really liked, and that kind of, this must have been a couple months ago now, actually, that this hit me, is, it's in Psalms 56, verse 3, and it says, "When I am afraid, I put my trust in you." And I just remember in that moment when I first read that, rather than like the word afraid, I could put however I was feeling, and it made sense. You know, it's like when I'm sad, when I'm alone, when I'm happy, like whatever the emotion is on the spectrum, I put my trust in you, and it's like boom, I can solidify myself on that. So yeah, that's one that's it's on a note in my phone, and it brings me a lot of comfort. I really, really like that verse. Yeah,
nice, that's awesome. Well, I will take my hat off here. That does bring us to the end. I want to commend you. That was remarkable. You had answers for every single question, very promptly. B and I were talking the other day. I was like, she's like, well, he interviewed you like when you got married, so maybe you should just like do an interview of him. I was like, oh, let's do it. Let's put him on the spot for once.
Great idea.
But no, it's been fun. It's been cool. I think this will be fun to look back on, and especially for you, but for me as well. And I'm thinking back on different birthdays I've been there for, and just I mean, the DS was huge, man. I remember that one. That
was a big time. That was a big time. Yeah.
But no, it's been a lot of years of fun times and doing this podcast and just being friends. So I wanted to take a moment and celebrate that and celebrate you.
Thanks,
on the what would it be on the eve, whatever, the day after your special day. So anyway, shout out Joel. Happy birthday on the morrow of your special day. That doesn't quite make sense, but
no, sounds good though.
Yeah, no. Anyway, and thank you guys all for listening in. We hope you have enjoyed it, getting to know Joel a little bit better here. And if you did enjoy it, please leave us a like, leave us a review on Spotify, rate us 5 stars because we're just that excellent.
Come on.
And subscribe on the YouTube, and we will see you very, very soon.
See you later.